Hello guys, it's John Master. Today we're doing another Beyblade discussion. This is going to be another sort of reactionary Beyblade discussion where news broke about something that I really wanted to talk about. So, in terms of visuals, I'm just going to have Shark Edge and Viper Tail kind of sitting there, so if you want to throw this in like a background tab or something, feel free, because I'm not really going to be doing anything with the camera. So anyway, why am I recording this? Like, why did I just see news, get up and start recording? You know what caused that? So, we've gotten some news about what seems like another January product. I don't know if this is replacing the booster or if it's an addition. That was a little bit unclear, but apparently we are getting a random booster select in January. The same type of product that Viper Tail released in. Back when I made my discussion video on like Leon Claw and Viper Tail and just like the October releases, I made that back in September. I said specifically, if there's another random booster select in the first quarter of 2024, that was really, really not a good sign of things. And not only did that come true, it's in the first month of that quarter, in January. So why do I think this is so bad? Like, I feel like I have a tendency to, at least sometimes, I'll like be opposite on certain issues. Like for example, like the durability of Beyblade X, I said was a problem, but I said the reaction was very overblown. It's not as big of a problem as people are making it out to be. And with this, I feel like people are like, well, this kind of sucks, but whatever. Whereas I think this is so far the biggest issue with Beyblade X, and is something that's very worrying for the future of the line. Now, I'm not here to just fearmonger. I do want to give at least some scenarios to what this could lead to, but still, I'm not here to be like, oh, this is going to lead to like the downfall of Beyblade as a brand. You know, I'm not here to do all that. So I do want to make a lot of this video kind of a history lesson of sorts about random boosters and sort of how Takatomi's been trying to push them and push them further for years now. So I can't talk about Bakuten Shoot because I just don't know much about Bakuten Shoot, but I can start with Metal Fight. Back in Metal Fight, with the pre-hybrid wheel system, there were 2 random boosters for that line. That's honestly not too bad. Now, the hybrid wheel system, there were 2 as well, which is okay, but there was also this second line, the light random boosters. Basically, bays that instead of having metal wheels had these kind of just plastic wheels that look like metal wheels, except they were white plastic, so yeah, they give you other parts like the tracks, bottoms, faces, clear wheels, all the same as normal bays, but the wheels, like the metal wheels, were now just plastic, and that was kind of the main difference there. They're also a lot cheaper as well. They put out 3 of these this year, which is kind of a lot to think about. There's 5 random products in that year, but again, 3 of them are just really, really cheap, so it's not as big of a deal at the very least. In Metal Fight Explosion, they shifted away from this, just doing 2 random boosters, which is nice. And then with 4D, they increased it to 3 random boosters, which, I mean, alright, that's not the worst thing ever. And then Zero G, they had 3, but apparently they had a 4th one planned. So it seems like they were trying to go up to 4, didn't pan out though. I think 4 gets to a little bit of a dangerous area of random products to me personally. I feel like that kind of gets to be a lot. That's 1 per season on average there, you know? Like 4 a year, I mean, it's not like the same year technically, but you know what I mean. Like 4 in the line, a line lasts about a year, so 4 in a year, that's a bit much, I would say. And then we have to Beyblade Burst, and they reset with the single layer line to just 2, no problems there. And then with dual layers, it was 3. Not too big of a deal. However, there's one thing I almost just forgot to mention: random layer collections. Random layer collections, you just get a random layer. Now, these were gachapon things, and you could, to my knowledge, order full sets of these. So it wasn't that big of a deal, honestly. There was 1 of these put into the single layer line, and then there were actually, there were 4 of these in the dual layer line, which is, a bit much. But, you know, I think because you can order full sets of them, you can kind of get away with this a little bit. Not the best, but you know, you get full sets of them. They're really cheap, so I'll let that slide. And then with Beyblade Burst God, they went up to 4 random boosters a year. Again, you're playing a dangerous game. Plus, you had 3 random layer collections. This isn't the best. It's not the best lineup. And then with shows that there were 5 random boosters. That is bad. This is the point that really started to frustrate me because now there's 5 random boosters in here. Granted, with like the 5 random booster model, the last one was always kind of just a filler random booster. Just had kind of like repeat parts, nothing really overly new. So it wasn't the biggest deal, but it still wasn't great. I didn't like seeing 5 random boosters in a year plus, well, 3 random layer collections. It wasn't great. But I think GT was probably the worst, because there were 5 random boosters, but also 3 random layer collections. But unlike the other ones, not only were these a little bit more expensive, but also you couldn't just order full sets of them. They were now proper mainline products that you had to buy randomly, which kinda sucked, honestly, and especially when you get to Random Layer Collection 3 with Knockout Odin, because the parts were randomized, so it wasn't even just a 1 in 4 anymore. It was basically like each individual part was like 1 in 4 or something like that. So you can get the prize chip, but not the prize base. It was really bad. And then they did move away from random layer collections after this, which was great. But then in okay, hold on. Then in Sparking, we got random boosters. Again, just random boosters. We had 5 of them. No random layer collections. But the problem with these random boosters in particular is that random boosters 21 and 22, the prizes of these were 1 in 12, with 4 of the pulls just being normal 1 in 8s, and then 2 of them being like a 1 in 6, I think. So basically the rates were messed up on these to make the prizes harder to get. So this whole waiting idea was not well liked. A lot of people hated this, and they did seem to kind of back off of this, so that's good. And then getting into kind of DB and BU. Well, for DB there were 4 random boosters, BU there were 2, but DB and BU are kind of, if you look at the products in just mainline base in general, combine them, it's about the same as a normal line. It was just kind of spread out over 2 years. So there were 6 random boosters, but again, I will give them a bit of a pass here since it was still spread out over like 2 years instead of just 1. It's a bit of a gray area, I guess, but whatever. And that brings us to Beyblade X. Oh boy, so Beyblade X started in July, and then in September we got Random Booster Volume 1. Not too unusual, that's fine. But what wasn't fine is the rates were again messed up on these. Yeah, they messed with the rates, so yeah, a couple of the bases here I think were 1 in 4, 2 of them were 1 in 6, and then the Shark Edges, the main one in the recolor, were 1 in 8. So, Shark Edge and also the recolored Shark Edge are harder to get, making the prizes obviously more expensive, more rare, that you have to buy more random boosters in order to get them. It's a way for them to make more money off of them, of course. So, that was already a big problem, but then of course, in October they introduced a new type of product. Random Booster Selects. Now you could argue, why are these so much worse than like random, like light random boosters or random layer collections, you know? We've had secondary random lines before. The problem is the price. Those were very cheap. You could buy them much cheaper. They were a couple of dollars. It wasn't as big of a deal, but with these are full Beyblade booster costs. They aren't cheap. And Beyblade X is pretty expensive. The start of every other gen was significantly cheaper than Beyblade X. So that's not a good start. And while yeah, there's only 3 pulls, and you are guaranteed the prize blade, at least from the one we've gotten so far, there's still a new ratchet in there, and there's still a new bit in there. There's still new parts that if you don't pull the prize with, you just don't get. And also, you don't get the main color. Even if you want to say it's not as bad of a product as a random booster, sure, but we already have random boosters. The argument would only hold up if we didn't have random boosters. These would be way better than normal random boosters, but they're in addition to them. These are terrible products. They just milk you for more and more money, and that's what I really hate to see. Now, November, we're not getting any random products, because again, there's like 2 sets coming out. Of course, there's no random products. But then December, we're getting Random Booster Volume 2. That's bad. Again, we got, in the last 4 months of the year, we have 3 random products. That's bad. And again, who knows if they're going to wait to the random booster. Again, it's going to be a Shark Edge situation where The prize and recolor of the prize are 1 in 8, or they may be normal and just have everything be the flat rate of 1 in 6, which I'm hoping it is, but with how Random Booster Volume 1 went, I think it'll be 1 in 8 for the prizes. So we have weighted random boosters, which is already bad enough, and then in January, we're going to have a short random booster, another one. They are really, really trying to milk random products. I would not be surprised if March or April has Random Booster Volume 3, whether it be actual Random Booster Volume 3 or just a third short Random Booster or Random Booster Select. But yeah, regardless, it looks like we're pushing potentially 4 Random Boosters a year and 4 Random Booster Selects a year. At minimum, it's probably 3 each, at most 4 each. So 6 to 8 random products a year that are full booster price. I don't care that one of the types is just 1 in 3 or whatever. This is still abysmal. This is a huge issue. Because it clearly shows that Taco Company wants to continue to push random products. Their main random boosters have bad rates to make you buy more and more, and they don't go with flat rates anymore, apparently. Unless Random Booster 1 was just an outlier, but we'll see. But also, they're having their second Random Booster line, which again, they've done something similar before, but they're opting to make it a full-priced product, and it just makes you wonder how far they want to take this. This is half of the line for Beyblade X, right? July to January, that's 6 months. And in these 6 months, or I guess 7 months if you want to say month by month, I guess each month has a release, so still. 7 months of releases in a 6-month period. Time works weird. There's not a good measurement here, but anyway. 7 months of releases, we'll go with that. 4 of these 7 months have random products. More than half, obviously. Does anyone else not take a big issue with this? Like, is it just me that thinks that this is like absolutely horrendous? Like, they clearly do not care about trying to just sell you starters or whatever anymore. They just want to sell you random products because again, it makes them more money. And the thing that does make me wonder is if these random boosters do well, the random boosters and random booster selects, there's a very good chance that, the early part of Beyblade X, like the kind of pre-release, in air quotes, because we kind of got the first season already, but sort of the usual pre-release / season 1 of a generation. Will Beyblade X be the kind of bestseller of that? Will it beat out Box and Shoot, Metal Fight, and Burst? If it does, a lot of that will probably be because people are buying multiples of products, because again, random boosters. And if that's the case, that's a very, very scary precedent for Beyblade, because clearly at that point, random boosters are working. They are making way more money off of them. So they're probably going to try and really push how many they get. They've already been pushing for years now. But it makes you wonder, how much more are they going to push? Again, if we're getting 6 to 8 random products a year, that's like every other month to just 2/3 of the month. That's really bad. But how far will they push it? Will they eventually maybe stop at 4, random boosters and 4 random booster selects a year? Or are they going to try to push one of those up to 5 potentially? Are we going to see a point where it's more rare to see just regular releases happen? Maybe back-to-back months of regular releases. Is that going to be a very rare concept to us eventually? I think it's possible if these random products really end up pushing the sales of Beyblade. But yeah, it's just kind of a thought I want to talk about. Will this be a problem for Beyblade? I kind of think it will be. Because like I've been saying, obviously the more random products, the more sales you get. Because again, people are buying more of the same product. And if people are willing to do that, again, that's really not good if people are willing to do that. Because it just keeps giving them more and more money. And they're going to want to make more and more money. And so if that's what's working for them, what the current system is, with all these random products in place, they're probably going to try and push them further. And if they look at the individual sale numbers for products, if random boosters are still selling very well, would not be surprised they push them further. Anyway, this is just a quick thing I want to talk about, because I feel like random products are just getting out of hand really badly, and I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about this. I feel like a lot of people, when they see this, are just kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks, and they're just kind of go on with their day. But I feel like it's a much bigger issue than that, because again, these random products are just going to, at least I think they might just be replacing a lot of other normal releases we could have gotten, and it's just worrisome. And eventually, if they do break that threshold where they're doing, like random products monthly or something, people are eventually going to get tired of it. As the generation goes on, I feel like people are just going to get sick of it. And I feel like that could end up backfiring in the future. And while, yeah, the first year or two might be great for them, they might be making a killing off of them, I feel like they're eventually going to tire people out, and if they do, then I could see Beyblade X crumbling, because, again, they just try to make too many random products. People are going to get sick of it. Probably. And that could be it. So, yeah, just something I really wanted to talk about. And with the news, with a second random booster select coming already, I feel like it was something that I had to talk about, because it's worrying. It's actually kind of worrying to see how many random products they're trying to push. So let me know what you think. If you watch it all the way through, I am curious to see what other people think, because I am genuinely concerned about how many random products they're trying to push. It's really, really bad in my opinion. And again, I honestly think it's Beyblade X's biggest problem right now. I don't care about the durability. Well, I do care about it, but like the durability you could argue about, but like I think this is the biggest problem, and could again be the downfall of the generation if they aren't careful. And I just think it'd just be better for everyone if they could just chill on the random products. Like, give us like 3 random boosters and like 1 random booster select a year. I would take that. Maybe like a holiday season random booster select, and then like, I don't know, like late spring, early summer, kind of end of summer, early fall, then like a December random booster, something like that. That sounds a little bit better. Well, let's swap to that instead of doing whatever garbage they're doing. So anyway, that's all for this video though. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.